Let Butler do it. Butler Automotive, your dealer alternative since 1975.
Should have called the butler.
Congratulations, Cliff Bennett, on being the 2025 Augusta Annual Arts Award recipient. Thank you for your passion, commitment, and creativity.
I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta Guy, and my team is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Augusta Green Jackets. The Augusta Guy, supporting Augusta's team and all those who call the CSRA home. Call Austin Jackson, 706-724-7224.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
At Parker's Kitchen, we go big. Our catfish sandwich. It's huge, bigger than the bun, with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce. At Parker's Kitchen. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
New updates live at 5 to a scary situation for people living in the Harrisburg neighborhood. A 14-year-old and a 17-year-old now face aggravated assault charges in connection to a shooting that happened last night.
2 people were shot, multiple teenagers were arrested. This is video from last night on Crawford Avenue. You can see lots of police, crime scene tape, and yeah, lots of blinking lights there. A lot of people very worried last night. Good evening, I'm Meredith Anderson.
And I'm Will Rio. 4 teenagers detained in total in connection to the shootings, and 2 are injured as well.
I want to show you a map of where all this happened. Neighbors along Crawford, Green Street, and several side streets were asked to stay in their homes for nearly 2 hours while deputies worked in that area. Your Audrey Dickerber joins us live in the newsroom after spending the day talking to neighbors. Audrey, what did they have to say?
Well, it's unfortunately something that neighbors aren't shocked by and are hoping will change. I spoke with some people who live in the community. Many told me that one street in the area could be the complete opposite of another. Others say the area wasn't always like this, but community members and the sheriff's office want the violence to decrease, especially with younger people. RCSO says they had a meeting recently with judges and community partners to help, but people in the area still don't feel safe a majority of the time and hope change will come soon.
No surprise. It's, our neighbors, we keep in touch with each other and say, hey, just get in your house or be careful. It's happening again. So, it's kind of sad. You shouldn't be afraid to sit on your front porch and have a cup of coffee, no matter what time of night it is.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more about what changes neighbors say need to happen.
All right, thanks for that, Audrey. It's sad that people can't even sit out on their front porches. This is almost the norm for them, is what it sounds like out there in that community.
But hopefully things will change, and it looks like at least there's some recognition that things need to change. Thanks, Audrey. New tonight, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office says there are curfews your children need to follow in the county. Now, some of these rules include no one under the age of 18 is allowed to be out in the streets or out in public places without an adult between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. For Friday and Saturday, kids cannot be out between midnight and 5 a.m. There are some exceptions, like if they're out running an emergency errand or if they're going home from work.
And we are working to learn more after one person was killed at an Augusta apartment complex. Within the last few hours, the Richmond County Coroner's Office says 25-year-old Jerome Burley was shot at the landings at 237 on Fox Trace this morning. That's just off Wrightsboro Road. Burley was taken to the hospital where he later died. More than a dozen deputies investigating the scene just inside the entrance. Neighbors who were in the area after that shooting who say they are calling for an end to violence.
But it's going to take a community effort for everyone to value their communities and get out and pull together and help the sheriff and his staff to be able to go out and do an amazing job. The shooting and the killing and the fighting just has to stop.
Yeah, it does. All the shooting is nonsense.
And that is an area we have seen dozens of shootings over the past couple of years. We have reached out to the sheriff's office about possible suspects. We'll keep you updated when we learn more.
Well, we are finally getting a break from the rainfall. Dry day today should hold on to dry weather at least through Tuesday, possibly a stray shower by Wednesday, but it looks more likely that we'll see those storm chances return towards the end of the week, most likely Thursday, Friday into the weekend. Over the next couple of nights, though, we are going to bring in some slightly drier air that's going to help us cool off a little bit over the next couple of nights, at least seeing low temperatures a little bit below average. I want to show you this, though. It's been hazy again out there today, and the haze likely will stick around on Tuesday. All this is from some significant wildfires up in Canada, and our upper level wind pattern is bringing us some of that smoke here across the southeast. So if you've been outside again today, you've looked outside, it is very hazy and actually starting to increase a little bit as we are bringing in a dry front for the rest of today into tonight. So this not really impacting air quality a ton for us here locally. Luckily, a lot of this smoke is much higher into the atmosphere, but definitely noticeable in it. Our air quality right now is down to a moderate level. So a moderate level would just translate to, if you're very sensitive to any type of air quality concerns, you may have some moderate impacts there, but for the rest of us, luckily not going to have a huge impact out there if you're going to be outside. Great evening to be outside. We got dry weather continuing for the rest of tonight into tomorrow. Temperatures will be comfortable in the 80s all the way through sunset, then we'll drop down to near 60 waking up early tomorrow morning. We'll have a look at those storm chances leading to the week in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Riley. New within the last hour, tax refunds are going to be sent out for Georgia taxpayers this week. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signing the bill for a third year in a row. If you filed your 2023 and 24 taxes before the deadline, you will receive money. For example, single filers get $250, heads of households get $375, and $500 for married couples. You can check your eligibility by using the surplus tax refund eligibility tool, which will be on our website, wrdw.com.
New in the last few hours, SLED says it's investigating a deadly shooting in Allendale County. Authorities say it happened yesterday. SLED hasn't released details like where this happened or even if there are any suspects. Now, we did reach out to the coroner's office to learn the name of the victim. New tonight, SLED says it needs your help in the investigation of the murder of this man on your screen. Police say 22-year-old Markel Thomas was shot outside a home on Aiken Avenue in Fairfax in 2018. Agents say he was taken to the hospital where he died. Authorities say there may be multiple people involved in his murder. Anyone with information is asked to call or email SLED. Also new tonight, another candidate is running for Georgia Lieutenant Governor. Top Senate Republican John Kennedy joins the growing field of candidates. Republicans include Senate Majority Leader Steve Gooch, Senate Appropriations Committee Chairman Blake Tillery. He is raising money for a possible bid. State Senator Greg Dolezal could also seek the office. On the Democrat side, the only declared candidate is State Senator Josh McLaurin. Burt Jones, the current Republican lieutenant governor, is expected to run for governor next year instead of seeking re-election.
A new video coming into our newsroom today of the Ed McIntyre Riverwalk in Augusta. It is back open after being shut down for about 2 weeks to clean up debris from Hurricane Helene. The playground is still closed for safety reasons while crews repair that part. We will let you know when that park reopens. Good to see the Riverwalk back open. Great weather outside to take a stroll too.
Yeah, just in time for summer. Hurricane season 2 officially here. Your first alert meteorologist Emily Acton has what we expect for this year. Riley?
And we got a nice, relatively cool night out there for the tonight into early tomorrow morning. Going to be heating up, though, late in the week and also bringing back those storm chances on that forecast next.
Time and temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
This is not you.
News Live streaming app.
Welcome back in, folks. We are going to still deal with some of that smoky haze in the skies for tomorrow, but luckily dry weather extends through our Tuesday. Maybe a stray shower south of I-20 by Wednesday, but looking much more likely we'll see some thunderstorms develop by Thursday into the weekend. And by this weekend, that's when it's going to start feeling much more summer-like again. Higher humidity and definitely getting those highs back into the 90s. Here's a look at our rain chances. So tomorrow, not expecting much. I think we do stay completely dry. Wednesday, the sea breeze front's going to be moving inland. That could definitely kick up some showers showers, maybe a thunderstorm, mainly south of I-20. By Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're bringing in an upper level low and just bringing back more heat and humidity to produce those showers and thunderstorms each afternoon into the weekend. So just a heads up for you. For tomorrow, though, we're going to wake up near 60 degrees. It is going to be a comfortable start to our day right at sunrise. We'll stay below 80 at least up until we get closer to lunchtime, and then afternoon highs tomorrow will top out close to 90 degrees. I think we make it up to at least around 89 tomorrow. Southeast wind between 5 to 10. Great day to be outside. Luckily, the humidity is not going to be too big of a concern out there tomorrow. Now, once we get into Wednesday, maybe a stray shower, storm chance. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So early tomorrow morning, generally clear skies. We're going to see a lot of sun on Tuesday. Going to be a nice day out there tomorrow. Cloud cover does start to increase Wednesday. The one benefit of the cloud cover, it will drop off our high temperatures a little bit. We'll actually stay with highs in the mid 80s Wednesday afternoon. And you can see that range is pushing inland along that sea breeze. Most of it stays south of I-20 though, so our southern counties definitely have that best chance of maybe getting clipped by a stray shower or thunderstorm. Once we get to Thursday, Friday, that's when the storm chances do look a little bit higher for us, at least scattered in activity, and then we'll likely see those high temps get back into the low 90s as we head into the weekend.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Hurricane season is officially here. It comes as we mark just over 8 months, can you believe it, since Hurricane Helene hit our area.
And we are still recovering from that storm. Experts say this season could be above average. Your First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton is live for us in the studio. Emily, what are forecasts predicting about this?
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Hurricane season is officially here. It comes as we mark just over 8 months, can you believe it, since Hurricane Helene hit our area.
And we are still recovering from that storm. Experts say this season could be above average. Your First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton is live for us in the studio. Emily, what are forecasts predicting about this season?
Yeah, they are predicting it to be an above average, very active season for us. But I want to touch on how you can prepare. Today's June 2nd, second day of hurricane season. No better time to prepare than the present. You always want to be prepared before a storm comes to your area. But again, develop a plan. Make sure everybody in your household knows that plan. Have a disaster kit. And this might be one of the most important. Know what county you live in. If your county's put under a watch or a warning, it's important to know if you're in that county or not, and make sure that your devices are charged. But scan this QR code here and it will take you to our website where you can have more information on what exactly needs to go in a hurricane safety kit and how to develop a plan. So that's definitely a good tool there. But the National Hurricane Center just came out with their prediction for this year, 13 to 19 named storms, and that's around and above average of that 14 average named storms. Hurricanes anywhere from 6 to 9, and the typical season we'll see about 7. So again, around average, maybe a little bit above. And for major hurricanes, anywhere from 3 to 5, average being 3. So again, we're either right below average, but leaning a little bit more to above average season for us. So it'll be something that we'll continue to watch here. And again, your First Alert weather team's very dedicated this season, especially with what all we dealt with last season. We really want to make sure that you guys know that we are on your side, and we're going to continue to give you guys the best forecast we can.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. We will be watching, especially after Helene. Happening now as temperatures rise this summer, the Salvation Army is partnering with Escape Outdoors to help cool people off. For many of us, of course, we can turn on the AC, but for some, it is just not that simple. So the Salvation Army and Escape Outdoors are taking fan and water bottle donations. This month, you can make donations to both Escape Outdoors locations and any Salvation Army. We have other ways you can help on WRDW.com. Just search Salvation Army. Happening now on today's Miracle Monday, Camp Rainbow is celebrating 40 years this week at the Children's Hospital of Georgia. This is video of campers at Topgolf today. The camp started in 1985 as a way for children with cancer and their siblings to go into a medically safe environment. Children learn archery, kayaking, rock wall climbing, swimming, and more.
As our little kids kind of grow up, they look forward to coming to teen nights. It's one of those cool things you only get to do when you're a teenager. So it gives them something to look forward to in a situation that they don't have any control. They're not having any fun when they don't feel good. So getting to come to camp, it's a huge experience of getting to have fun, be a kid, and experience things just like every other kid gets to experience.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, your Zana Halliburton shares the story of a few children who attend the camp and how your child can get involved. All right, listen up, parents and guardians. If you are in need of baby supplies, there will be a giveaway this week. The Augusta Partnership for Children is giving away pull-ups, Pediasure, and more while supplies last. This will be on Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Telfair Street in Augusta. Registration is encouraged, and we do have a link on how you can register on WRDW.com.
Product safety rules are now in limbo after 3 consumer product safety commissioners were fired. We're investigating the recent firings and looking into the future of product regulation. We're back after this.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Good shot.
Today.
Well, as Emily just mentioned, yesterday was the official start of hurricane season, and we are monitoring a non-tropical low just off the southeast coast. The latest from the National Hurricane Center only has a 10% chance of this developing into a tropical cyclone, so very low chance it does develop. And the good news for us here in the southeast is that it is expected to continue moving off towards the northeast and away from land. So if anything does develop, we're expecting at least an area of low pressure to be off the coast by Thursday, but it will continue to drift off towards the northeast and may just bring us some inland showers and maybe a thunderstorm by around that time frame late into the week. Now, looking at our forecast moving forward this week, we are going to bring back maybe a stray shower or storm chance Wednesday, looking much more likely to see that rain activity Thursday, Friday into the weekend. We'll take a quick look at Wednesday right here. So early in the morning, expecting dry weather, not expecting the rain to really show up Wednesday until we most likely get after lunchtime. Here's a look at noontime. Our southern counties starting to see those sea breeze thunderstorms, so better chance to see rain the further south you go in our viewing area towards Jenkins, Screven, and Emmanuel County. As this tries to move further inland along that sea breeze front, just interacting with some slightly drier air, so struggling to hold together, and that's why we're keeping it just about a 20% chance right now. We'll have another update for you coming up in just about 7 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Layoffs and terminations, they are widespread within federal agencies due to the administration's push to downsize the federal government. Now, that includes top leaders within the
Breaking news live at 5. Richmond County deputies say a man wanted for rape and aggravated assault has been arrested. They say 46-year-old Leland candidate was arrested today in Columbia, South Carolina by the U.S. Marshals Task Force. Candidate was wanted for the alleged incident on Green Street. Riley.
Well, coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our fishing game forecast, and also if you're heading up to the lake, we'll look at that forecast too. Coming up.
Our space was...
Welcome back, folks. A hazy look over the lake today, and that likely is going to be the scene again tomorrow. If you are heading to the lake, looking at our fishing game forecast, the peak times is going to be 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., so good windows to be out there if you're going to be out early in the morning or maybe late into the evening out there. We're getting close to that quarter moon. We had the new moon last week. As we look ahead towards our Clarksville forecast for your Tuesday and Wednesday, tomorrow, sunny, hazy, high temps mid to 80s for tomorrow. We'll likely see cooler highs on Wednesday. That's going to be thanks to a little bit more cloud cover out there. And up at the lake, they should actually stay dry through Wednesday. But if you live here around I-20 or south, there is going to be the potential for maybe a stray shower thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon. Looking more likely to see some scattered storms develop Thursday, Friday into the weekend. And you can notice our temperatures are going to be increasing past Thursday. So Thursday, relatively cool with cloud cover, storm activity going on, but those highs will climb back into the 90s as we get towards the weekend. And unfortunately, the humidity makes a return as well.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news and weather coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.
Severe weather season is here, but you're good. You get the First Alert with forecasts where you live. WRDW First Alert weather on your side.
If one of these bad boys crashes into you, their insurance company is going to try to settle with you quickly, but for a lot less. I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and this is my outstanding team.
Hi.
We're known for moving pretty quickly ourselves. Getting your money fast is crucial for your recovery, so we go for the maximum settlement possible. Faster. How fast, you ask? One call, that's all.
Call10.com.
It's payback time.
Are you looking for more information?
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your First Alert.
At Parker's Kitchen, we go big, like our huge, crunchy, juicy, never frozen chicken tenders with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce at Parker's Kitchen.
You're watching News 12 Live at 5 continues.
Well, happening now, we have some warm and dry days to start the week, but unfortunately that could change as we enter the later part of the week. It's not like we've gotten enough rain, right?
Yeah, I know. Your first alert chief meteorologist Riley Hale has more on what we can expect to see. Riley, what's the timeline?
Well, here we go, guys. Finally, some dry weather in store for our forecast, at least for the rest of today and tomorrow. Maybe some stray shower thunderstorms possible south of I-20 by Wednesday, but it looks like we're going to get back into a little bit of an active pattern Thursday, Friday, and will likely extend those storm chances into the weekend as well. So try to take advantage of some dry weather out there today and throughout your Tuesday. Now, the one thing we are noticing outside.
Thanks, Riley. New within the last hour, tax refunds are going to be sent out for Georgia taxpayers this week. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signing the bill for a third year in a row. If you filed your 2023 and 24 taxes before the deadline, you will receive money. For example, single filers get $250, heads of households get $375, and $500 for married couples. You can check your eligibility by using the surplus tax refund eligibility tool, which we have on our website, wrdw.com.
New video live at 5 shows what our community looks like 8 months after Hurricane Helene. It is absolutely crazy to think that it has been 8 months, but so much has happened and so much work is still yet to be done.
And it's shaped our community. Tonight, we reached out to multiple city leaders to see what they learned from Hurricane Helene and if there's anything they want to change moving forward. Your Hallie Turner spoke with the commissioner and the mayor's office. Hallie, what did leaders have to say?
Well, they tell me the focus now is still on cleanup. Mayor Johnson's office tells me their priority right now is making sure the city hits the June 30th deadline for 100% reimbursement from FEMA. A spokesperson for the mayor's office says the majority of the last 8 months has been dedicated to clearing the roads, removing tree stumps, and getting people back in their homes. And like you see here, some areas across Augusta have recovered, but others still have a ways to go. And while the mayor's office says there isn't a big checklist yet of future changes and preparations, one commissioner says there's only so much they can do.
I don't think you can prepare for an act of God. The only thing you can do is prepare for the aftermath, no different than a shooting. You can't stop the shooting, but you could prepare for it afterwards, try to get it resolved.
Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, Commissioner Guilfoyle sheds light on some of the conversations they're having.
And hopefully those are conversations on how to respond moving forward. If we do happen to see something like this, hopefully there's a new plan that's created as well.
Yeah, because nobody saw this coming, and now that we know it can happen, we need to be as ready as we can be.
And we have an update to a developing story. 2 teenagers are facing aggravated assault charges in connection to a shooting in the Harrisburg neighborhood. This is video of the scene last night on Crawford Avenue off Green Street. As you see, a lot of police cars and crime scene tape. Deputies say 2 people were hurt in the shooting and 2 other teenagers were detained. Neighbors in the area were asked to stay in their homes for about 2 hours.
New tonight, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office says there are curfews your children need to follow in the county. Now, some of these rules include no child under the age of 18 allowed to be out on the streets or in public places without an adult between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. For Friday and Saturday, those hours are midnight until 5 a.m. But there are some exceptions, like if your child is running an emergency errand or maybe going home from work. If you want to learn more about curfews in Richmond County, we do have an article on wrdw.com. New updates live at 5. We're working to learn more after one person was killed at an Augusta apartment complex. Within the last few hours, the Richmond County coroner says 25-year-old Jerome Burley was shot at the Landings at 237 on Fox Trace. That's off Wrightsboro Road. Burley was taken to the hospital this morning where he died. More than a dozen officers investigating the scene just outside the entrance. Neighbors who were in the area after the shooting say the community needs to come together to end violence.
And I think the community and people need to value life and start back praying again.
That's it.
Loving one
That's it.
another. Genuinely
Jesus.
loving each other and loving life.
Yes.
Because it seems like right now the world is just going crazy.
We have reached out to the sheriff's office about possible suspects, of course. We'll let you know if or when names are released.
Well, we just entered hurricane season, and you were asked to be on alert with more hurricanes than normal expected in the Atlantic.
Yeah, not good news in the forecast. And now your State House reporter Abby Kasoris shows you there are growing concerns that federal cuts could leave states like Georgia vulnerable.
The federal government cutting workers and considering cutting funding to groups that predict, track, and respond after natural disasters like hurricanes. One researcher here at the University of Georgia says the decision could cost lives. Professor Pam Knox looks closely at this year's hurricane report. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, is predicting more than a dozen named storms, several with the power to cause widespread damage. Hurricane Helene left a trail of devastation right through the middle of our state last year.
The chances that we're going to see some activity are pretty high. We just don't know how strong it's going to be.
Families lost homes, and farmers that she works with lost crops. She fears farmers with loans to replant may not get another.
Irma and Michael, some of the other ones, have caused a lot of problems. The people are still paying off debts from those earlier storms.
FEMA, the federal agency that responds to natural disasters, is now under review. President Donald Trump forming a council to evaluate the agency, and Congress is debating cutting more than $600 million from the FEMA budget. Knox fears more people could get hurt if there are less trained workers and resources to respond when the storm moves out. She says Georgia is in a better financial position than most to use the state's surplus to help repair and rebuild from less severe storms.
Usually these really big ones just outweigh what even the state can do.
There were more than 500 employees were fired or let go at the National Weather Service. CNN is reporting that they've now opened up an additional 125 positions because of the start of the hurricane season. In Watkinsville, I'm Abby Kasoris.
Happening this week in South Carolina, the South Carolina Department of Public Safety and Department of Transportation will go along the evacuation routes. This will be on Thursday from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. They will go along I-26, US 21, and more, all to make sure the routes are safe and prepared for hurricane season.
New tonight, SLED agents say they need your help in the investigation of the murder of this man on your screen. Police say 22-year-old Markel Thomas was shot outside of a home on Aiken Avenue in Fairfax way back in 2018. Agents say he was taken to the hospital where he died. Authorities believe there could be multiple people involved in his murder. Anyone with information about this, please call or email SLED.
New developments tonight. South Carolina law enforcement arresting 80 people allegedly living in the country illegally. Governor Video coming into our newsroom today of the Ed McIntyre Riverwalk in Augusta. It is back open after being shut down for about 2 weeks to clean up debris from Hurricane Helene. The playground is still closed for safety reasons while crews repair that part. We will let you know when the park reopens there. But good to see it back open. Great weather outside to enjoy a walk on the Riverwalk.
Coming up, longtime Georgia Tech baseball coach Danny Hall has made his final appearance in the dugout. How his players are saying goodbye to the legend after the break. Riley?
Well, finally some dry weather today and should stick around tomorrow, but storm chances are going to start going up again as we close out the week. Well, that forecast next.
Time and temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Hi, I'm Deborah Alfaro.
Go.
Revealing real-life solutions that keep your family safe.
This action could save lives.
It will save lives, no doubt about it.
Investigate TV Plus.
All right, what do we got? Looks like 64 yards to the pin. About 64 mile per hour winds.
Dude, there's no wind.
Hand me my 64-degree wedge.
What's in with you at 64?
Are you 64?
.com!
Happening now as temperatures increase this summer, the Salvation Army is partnering with Escape Outdoors to provide resources. For many of us, we can escape extreme temperatures by turning on our AC. But for some, not so simple, which is why they need your help donating fans and water bottles. This month, you can make donations to both Escape Outdoors locations and any Salvation Army location. We have other ways you can help on Wrdw.com. Just search Salvation Army. And it's getting hot out there.
Yeah, it's going to happen really quickly for us. It's pretty soon here, we're going to be talking about heat advisories, I feel like, Riley.
I know, guys, we're definitely due for it, and that is going to be heading our way, especially as we head later into the summer. Luckily, over the next couple of days, fairly seasonal.
Thanks, Riley. A long-running area boxing club is hoping it can stay in the ringer. Alyssa Lyons joins us now. The club recently hit a major milestone.
Yeah, the Augusta Boxing Club has been around for about 50 years, and for almost as long, they've been fighting to be named a Georgia historical site. The club was started back in 1976, and since then, it's been home to some of Georgia's best fighters, from Golden Gloves champion Stingray Whitfield to two-time world boxing champion the late Vernon Forrest. This is the second year in a row that the club has applied to be a historical designation. They were rejected initially because they were late to file that paperwork. We'll hear from Whitfield in the next half hour. Well, the Hall era has officially come to an end at Georgia Tech with the Jackets' exit at the Oxford Regional against Ole Miss. Danny Hall's final season is in the books, and it's one for them too. Hall finishes his time in Atlanta with more than 1,200 wins, 1,400 total. He has the 9th most wins of any coach in NCAA history and the most wins in the history of Georgia Tech baseball. His players thankful for getting another year out of the Hall of Fame coach.
He deserves more. He deserved for us to send him out on a much better note than losing in a regional, and that's on us. I mean, we know that. I mean, he's a legend. He's going to be one of the names that in 20, 40, 100 years of college baseball, people are still going to be talking about Danny Hall, and I mean, it's been a blessing to be able to be coached by him, and like I said, it just sucks that we couldn't finish it off better for him.
Hall began his career at the Flats back in 1994. He's been named ACC Coach of the Year 5 times since 1997. We'll know he'll be missed at Georgia Tech.
All right, thanks for that, Alyssa. Happening now on today's Miracle Monday, Camp Rainbow is celebrating 40 years this week at the Children's Hospital of Georgia. This is video of campers at Topgolf today. The camp started in 1985 as a way for children with cancer and their siblings to go into a medically safe environment. Children can learn archery, kayaking, rock wall climbing, swimming, and more.
So our old friends who have been coming for a while take on our new friends and show them, look, I know sometimes this really sucks, but at the same time, it can be really great too. You get to make friends, you come and enjoy life, and that's what we want to spread.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, your Zana Halliburton shares the story of a few children who attend the camp and how your child can get involved.
We all have plenty to worry about when we travel, but the FBI and FCC now are adding something to the list. Now, Jamie Tucker coming up what they claim can happen with those airport charging stations and whether it's something to take seriously.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Got it! $. Men's, ladies, and kids Skechers, 40% off. Carhartt Force and Screen Tees, $20. Select men's polos and shorts, just $9. Men's Chaps apparel, $18. And select Alfred Dunner spring coordinates, 60% off. Find everything you need to save big this season, only at Hamrick's Ultimate Bargain Event.
First Alert Weather, where accuracy matters, keeping you alert during severe weather and helping you plan your day. We put our money where our forecast is. Each weekday, our forecasted high is within 3 degrees of the actual high. A local charity gets money in the bank. By being 100% accurate for a full month, over $1,000 went to a single charity. No other Augusta station is on your side the way we are, keeping you ready for anything and putting our accuracy to work.
The First Alert Weather 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by Top Doctor.
Okay, parents and guardians, maybe some grandparents, if you are in need of baby supplies, there will be a giveaway this week. The Augusta Partnership for Children is giving away pull-ups, Pediasure, and more while supplies last. This will be on Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Telfair Street in Augusta. Registration is encouraged. We have a link for you to register on WRDW.com.
If you are in need of a job, listen up. Happening tomorrow at Augusta University, they're hosting a job fair. Positions available include dentists, assistants, dental assistants, police officers, nurses, and much more. This will be from 2 to 4 o'clock at the Goodwill Job Connection on Peach Orchard Road.
Well, checking in on our sailors again over the lake. It is a nice day to be out there. Unfortunately, not the best sailing day with not a whole lot of wind out there. You can see they're not moving all too fast, but good day to be outside. We got some smoky haze out there. That's actually from Canadian wildfires making it all the way down towards the southeast. Warm out there today, hitting high temps in the mid-80s. We've been as high as around 86 so far today in town, and luckily our dew points are going to stay near 60. So once those creep up into the mid-60s, even closer to 70, that's when it starts to feel much more humid outside. Luckily, expecting that to stay relative near that range for the next couple of days. So just really talking about some relatively drier heat heading into tomorrow. Fishing game forecast. If you're going to be hitting the water, you got to peak at early in the morning around, I'd say mid-morning around 9 a.m. and then later tomorrow evening just after sunset at 9 p.m. So best of luck if you are hitting the water out there. Be safe as well. Make sure you're wearing that life jacket. Looking at our lake forecast for tomorrow, those high temps up at the lake for tomorrow should be in the upper 80s. Will cool off a little bit by Wednesday. That's going to be thanks to a little bit more cloud cover. And I will say this, we've been talking about maybe the chance for a stray shower or thunderstorm Wednesday. That's mainly for areas along and south of I-20. So if you have plans later Wednesday afternoon up at Clarks Hill, expecting that to be fairly dry, just partly cloudy. Our lake temperatures right now in the mid-70s. Just about a week or so ago, they were in the low 80s, so all that rain from last week definitely helped cool off those lake temps. And right now, the lake is running near full pull, just below it, so definitely dealing with some high water. And just once again, make sure you're wearing that life jacket if you're going to be on the water for the rest of the summer. Now, here's a look at our radar network. We are dry, so no rain in our forecast for the rest of today, and even into tomorrow, it does look dry as well. But Wednesday into Thursday, those storm chances do start to creep back into the forecast. Here's your planner for your Tuesday. Here in town, we're going to wake up in the low and mid 60s right at sunrise. Afternoon highs will climb to close to 90 degrees by tomorrow afternoon, and likely going to still deal with some of that smoky haze out there Tuesday, but that should improve as we head towards the middle of the week. High temperatures Wednesday, Thursday continue to trend just a little bit below average. Thursday, high temperatures only in the low 80s. That's going to be thanks to pretty good cloud cover out there. Higher storm chances though, and as we head into the weekend, the 90s do make a return.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Congratulations, Cliff Bennett, on being the 2025 Augusta Annual Arts Award recipient. Thank you for your passion, commitment, and creativity.